Yes. Welcome everybody to Level 8's first debate. Yeah. That's right. So, here we go. Alright. So, our first debate topic today is going to be on should the government impose a fine if citizens fail to vote? Some countries do this sort of thing. This side over here is going to be arguing for, yes, the government should implement a fine to those citizens who choose not to vote. And this side over here is basically going to vote, or going to be arguing against it. The this team over here is going to go first, and they're going to have 7 minutes to make arguments. While that's happening, there's not going to be any interaction. This is a rhetorical experience, meaning like you listen, they speak, right? Yeah. At which point 7 minutes are finished. You don't have to go for the full 7 minutes, but there's a 7 minute maximum. There's a clock right behind you. You can kind of glance back at it. At a certain point, I'll just say 1 minute. I'll just say that out loud, just to give you a little heads up, okay? So, but I don't want you to worry about the clock. I want you to get your head space and just about what you're talking about. Okay, 7 minutes over here. Then they're gonna have 7 minutes, and I'll give you a little 1 minute warning, okay? After which time they'll have 5 minutes to have a rebuttal to address some of the things that they said, or maybe have a prepared statement. That's fine too. Then they're gonna have 5 minutes. 2 minutes, and then 2 minutes, after which time you're going to have a chance to have a little bit of a Q&A when the whole debate is finished, right? And I passed out a survey. Yeah, you're not going to vote for what you agree with, what you think is already, all right? You're voting for who do you think made the best case for this position. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You probably already have an opinion about voting fines, right? Well, of course it's going to influence your vote.
Jeremy, they make the space for you.
Oh, did you now? Okay, I'm going to go that way though. That's
No, but
you're so
start the collab, that's why.
Oh no, I've prepared it, man. Thank you for so much for thinking ahead. No, I got a mouse right over there. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. All right. So coming up to the podium, is Ms. Siobhan going first? All right, let's give her a warm applause here. Yeah.
Okay, today we are here to debate about there should be fine for people who don't vote. To begin with, I would say voting is vital for every country. Eligible to vote in the United States is established both through federal constitution and by state law. I have my team Laura and Marley with me, and I call Marley to speak few points about it. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everyone. Today we are discussing a very important topic.
Yeah.
The government need to cover a fee or not? Hey.
Of course not.
Take care of your laugh, because we need to examine the consequences when people don't vote. Okay? This is the first topic that you need to have in your mind. Is that clear like a sky for me? Everybody needs to know vote is a very important duty for us, okay? People can just not only down at home and thinking, it's not my problem who is gonna be president or mayor or whatever. This is a very important contribution for the people to the country. Now, my friend Laura have one important point about it. Thinking about it. Thank you, Ms. Laura.
Also, another important point for making people vote is that even though there is not much political enthusiasm for people, because you know all politics lie, you have the right to decide. If there is a time when you as a citizen, you can decide for your country, the good for your country. So it is very important for you, even though you think, no, it will not change anything. One bird makes the whole folk go in the good way. So please vote. And then the others, 2 points.
I have another point, important point today. You know, maybe some country put a fee like a $20, $30. You can imagine what the government can do with this money. Governments can construct a school, pay debt, everything with this money. Depend of the vary of the election, the government can. I can't remember the word when the people have all the money, and this is important to know. Countries like Australia, Ecuador, Honduras, Brazil. Yeah, thank you, my friend Laura. These are economies developed because everybody contribute with the country. My friend Savannah, you have something to come and contribute? Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it is our duty to vote, okay? And let's everybody go and vote. Otherwise, you know, you have to face the consequences. And you don't have to be lazy in this. This is where, you know, the country will lead. So better go and vote. Otherwise, you have to pay the fine. Okay.
Go ahead.
They give us point for this. Yeah, so no need to worry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So
Oh,
that's
that's all you wanted to say? Okay, cool. Yeah. So at this point, well,
Oh well.
all right, it's okay. It'll still work.
Yeah, sorry for that.
No, it's not your fault, brother. It's my silliness.
Stop.
Okay. So at this point, the other team is going to come up and you have 7 minutes to speak. I'm going to set. You can just let it keep going. Okay. All right. That's all. So now the other team is going to have 7 minutes to make their opening statements. Go ahead, Mr. Patel. It's going anytime you want.
Okay. Thank you, my another group about the giving so many points. Like don't be lazy. So if my son is mentally and physically handicapped and he is not going to work and I'm with the lots of trouble, so it's my son is lazy, who has the mentally physically handicapped and everything. And the second, it's a duty. If I am doctor, in front of me so many patients and the patient is going to be died, so it's my duty to save a patient or going to be what. So thank you for giving me the point. And did you understand? Did you understand? Because in front, if the patient is going to be die, so it's necessary to go for the vote and should be fine. So the government, state or federal, should not be able to impose fines those who do not vote. Under section of United States of America, Amendment 4, citizens of the United States of America have been granted to right to the vote. It does not say that they must. Imposing fines on those who do not wish to the vote would be unconstitutional. Second, I think voters should be undergo mandatory process for listening to Despacito at least 1500 times. Despacito. It is better to listening 1500 times Despacito, because if the homeless people, they don't have vehicle and everything, so why they going for the vote? And second, when people do not vote, they are communicating with the power. They are expressing that they are large impolite source of potential power for anyone who is willing to be represent them. And third, some people cannot and some people will not either their interpretation religious belief. Like religious belief, like in my religion, if the government doing something wrong, so I'm not choosing them with their religious belief. And some cannot because they are in a jail, in a prison. And some cannot because they are in hospital and some of the medical facilities. So some do not simply because they do not feel they know enough about it, the election. So my another friend, Mr. Ron, is continuing about the debate.
Despacito.
Yeah, ना, बोल के बोलता हूँ। 2-3 point बोलते मैं वापस बोलता हूँ।
Go fast, not Despacito.
Yeah.
Despacito.
What's that mean?
It's a patel. Despacito.
Yeah, it is better to.
First of all, I want to say sorry you get this topic because most of the country not support this thing that you trying to prove, that's a fine against voting. Like major countries who are the top 10 countries, that's also not support what you trying to prove here. So sorry for that. It's okay, it happens. But first of all, major country like when God create the thing like earth, and then people who create the borders, then people start make money. Then people, the government people who decide you need to pay this, that. And now you people are trying to say is you need to pay the fine. Why we pay the fine? We are paying so much money and so much people in the United States or any other major countries, they paying so much money like light bills, this bill, that bill, and they are not making that much tax and many more things they are paying that actually not mandatory. Government should help them, and now you improving the fine on that. That's like a burden for the people who are like poor or middle class or homeless, who not ready to pay this money. This money is not enough to survive them. Sometimes like some people I know like United States, they do 4 jobs. That 4 jobs they don't have time. They work on Sundays also, and that improve the economy of the United States. So if they go for vote, then that affecting the economy of the United States. So indirectly, if they're working and they are not going for vote, indirectly they're supporting the country. So if they're going for vote and that's really mandatory, I don't think so, because if there is a 4 minister, they are in an election and I don't like 4 of them, then why should I go and vote? Why should I waste my time? My time I make money from me, or I go outside with my family and I spend time with them. Why should I go and vote? So that's it I want to say. Thank you.
Patel.
Okay, so thank you Rohan for giving me opportunity to speak again. So when people do not vote, then it is a signal those power that they are in danger, both politically and for the side of the government, and when it's accurate in physical danger of revolution, because the forcing them to go out and choose between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump would be consult that. And I think it's morally right to the politician to have a fair warning that they are starving from the popular mandate, so that nobody has to feel bad for them when the people are fed up and come for their heads. Come for the heads, okay. And okay.
Kim, go ahead fast.
Yeah, Kim, only 1 minute. Then we have another 2 minutes. Don't worry about that.
Yes. And in my opinion, people have the freedom to speak. So the
I'm sorry.
so they have the right to refute that they voting for the candidate because maybe they don't want them in that position. They have their choice, and if you make them to pay the fine that you impose the law in the citizen, they already have a lot of law in United States.
Yeah.
And you don't need to make one more for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We finished 7 minutes. Hey, Mr. Michael, please. Next 5 minutes. Yeah.
Laziness and mentally ill people.
Yeah.
I think it is the priority that makes the difference. We get voting whole day, you know. If you have a doctor, if you're
No.
the patient is there, you can go in the evening. You know, you have it's your priority that matters. And regarding money, people do 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or 4 jobs. They don't have time. It's like, they're doing 2 jobs. They have time to enjoy. So they should have time to go and vote for. That's
Okay.
what my point is.
That's good. Thank
Okay,
you.
and I would
Yeah.
let Lauren.
Also for handicapped people, they all have the accessible.
Transportation, accessible
It's
vehicles
just
they have.
No.
They can go.
Anyone of you can come back up again. And
4 minutes.
I would like to say something to Patel.
Yeah, can you stand up here and
It's
Oh,
okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Don't
That's
mind,
fine.
please.
Okay.
I think it's
But let's
necessary.
say-
That's why.
No, who say Despacito?
Yeah, Despacito me. Yeah.
I would like to know if you sang Despacito when Trump won. Huh?
No. Hey.
No, you said. Ah, you know.
Yeah.
He didn't pay
Go ahead, go
attention to
ahead.
me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ah, and the second point, you can compare a fee for both to taxes or for bill for service. It's totally different, okay? And we know that pay a fee feels like a mandatory, but it's only $20. You spend $20 in whatever, a picture, an ice cream, whatever. And with this fee, you can contribute when you contribute. My friend,
Yes,
What?
also,
That's good.
thank you.
I need to say,
Yeah, you can.
Well,
stand.
whatever you want. Just go ahead and
Yeah.
say it. What you want to say?
with the first point, handicapped people have all have the accessibility to go and vote. They have plenty of schedules, times, Sundays, weekends, whenever they can go, they can go vote. And also money, if you are poor or middle class, if you know that you have to pay for something, you just go and then you don't have to pay. You don't have to take out your money. You just vote and you don't spend money. So
Yeah.
And the government is doing everything, for disabled people, the government has provided all the facilities,
Yeah.
all. So,
Okay.
and this $20 is nothing, as compared to people go and enjoy in a movie. I suppose.
Now you need to vote.
Okay. So
Is that the?
Yes.
Ended there? Okay. At this point, all right. So you guys are done on that one. So now at this point, someone can come up to the podium if you don't mind. Come up to the podium, Mr. Mike. You're up.
we have round of applause with more fun.
And your team will have 5 minutes. Anytime
Okay,
you want. Go ahead.
yes, okay everyone,
Thank you. It's Matay.
5 minutes.
why we need to pay more fee when we already pay a lot of taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, doesn't really make too much sense if somebody that doesn't go to vote pay a fee, There are many people working hard, doing hard job, earning 1 cent to get something to her house, to get some food to her house, to pay a fee of $20. I'm trying to understand this a little bit, and it doesn't make sense for me.
if you vote, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's simple.
So let me start with the Sabana's argument. But my son is physically handicapped. He is not agree to go outside. So what can I do for the vehicle? What can I do? Hey, let me finish. What can I do? And second, like if I agree to pay $20, right? We choose the government. Government give us so many promises. If they not fulfill their promises, so can I back my $20? It's my rights, because government speak about so many promises, like we fulfill these problems. We are doing for homeless people. We give you health care free. We give you education free. But they are not fulfill their promises. So can I take the $20 back? If they are agree with the $20 back, then we are ready to pay all the debts who do not pay. It's very simple. So Miss Kim is going to continue about.
She didn't know that. Because for the sake of the camera, come on. I know it's kind of squishy. Yeah, that's right. Anytime.
3 minutes.
Literally, I don't know what I have to say. Yeah, okay. Sorry. So about the paying free, if you say it's a right, people have a right to refuse not to pay that. So it's not fair when you make them to pay the free when they have a right and they have the freedom to not to vote. If they don't like the candidate, what they have to do?
Voting blank.
Voting blank, yeah. But if they don't want to vote for both of them and they don't want, but why you have to waste time to get there and vote for blank? And between you staying home and not to vote, that's the same thing. So why you have to vote for blank, right? And you say they don't be lazy. People have their choice and people have their reason. They have personal life, they have working, they have children, or maybe they are on vacation in another country. You don't know. And can I ask, like, for the money that they pay, what happened to the money?
That money goes in the
How do you
improvement
know
of
it's
the
maybe
economy.
like
How do you know?
going
Okay,
to
but-
the economy? Okay, and ironic because the government subsidize for the poor people to their food tent, give them the money. So why have to give back the money for the government just because paying the free to $20, right?
So how is the
That's like
No, but
not.
But then how is the country going to run?
They already pay the tax. They
Yeah.
already pay the house for the
Yeah.
food.
The taxes.
One
For the
minute.
school
Then
because
what about the improvement of the economy? If you don't remove
No,
the
it's
money,
not
So I'm sorry. Yeah, I just let them do that. I know it's a valid point, but I'm gonna let you.
yeah.
It just-
So because paying tax is their duty.
Oh, guys, we'll have a chance to do that later on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We got to keep it formalized. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Go back there.
I'm thinking about the money where it's coming. It going to the government or it's going to someone's pocket?
Okay. So tell us to say one more thing. It's like he's
30 minutes not enough, but let me finish.
I believe in you.
30 seconds, sorry. So I'm talking about the particular Indian politics. We use the EVM machine for the voting. EVM machine like electronic voting machine, not like here to write the name to the system of ballot. So in India, the ruling government hacked the EVM machine and.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
2 minutes. Next 2 minutes.
I promise you. You'll get another.
More money, more honey.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes. That's why.
Are you all finished with your basic summary? Okay, that's fine. I'll relinquish there another minute and a half. So now you have another. You guys have 2 minutes to. And go ahead, Mr. Patel. You can go on up there if you want to. I'm guessing you're the one who wants to say the most. Sorry, go ahead. You go.
Look,
How does he mic?
we are not disagree with the Sabana statement like their government is work for 365 days. We understand, but if I am not going to vote, we are disagree about the fines. We are citizens. We understand to vote the government, but she says like the government work 365 days for the people. I understand, but the thing is, if I vote to Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is not doing very good for the people, and we are not for the people. So next election, people might be nervous, like the government is not doing good things. And what I say, the EVM machine, the ruling government hacked the EVM machine. If I vote the ruling government, it's going to be opposition party. Ms. Sabana knows about the EVM hacking in India. So yes, she knows about the EVM hacking. So we are not ready to vote because everybody knows if I vote to the ruling government, it's going to be opposition party. So why we pay the fines? So. Mr. Michael is continuing.
I get the impression it's a surprise. He had no idea. We could chase
So
the speech.
yes, I'm here again. we are not going to pay the fee.
Yes,
So,
Do whatever you wanna do.
so many reasons they come together, and all people here that are in front of us hear it. I'm pretty sure you are agree with us.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really make sense.
Time's up. Time's up. All right. Time's
I
up. All right.
can see anything.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, oh,
It's
that's
not
a,
necessary to write the points.
You will remember
Right?
this, not that.
Look,
You will remember
Mr.
this,
Jeremy,
not
it's
that.
not necessary to
no,
write
no,
here.
it
Yeah,
wasn't. It
that's
wasn't
fine.
necessary, but
Yeah.
And this is a
So we
But
know. Thank you for listening us.
I know it was a little tongue
I
in cheek
hope
what you're
you
saying.
will
Right.
use-
A little tongue in cheek. Okay.
Seeing same face again and
Remember?
again.
Yeah.
Saving face
But
again and again.
we have lots of points.
All right. I gotta say, first of all, but before we get into the Q&A, as lively as it was, I gotta say, I noticed both sides were being intentional about listening for certain points that the other side made and addressing them directly, you know, and for the most part sometimes. And at any rate,
Again.
I'm going to open it up for a Q&A session, comments for either side. Someone want to make a comment or a question from the audience here? Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Rosina. Who is it directed to? This
I
side?
wanna tell
Sure.
to Mr. Patel.
Yes, yes, please. I'm ready to answer. Give
But
the
for
answer.
that you have to listen carefully.
Despacito.
Yeah. And
Why
continue.
you are not agree to pay the fine when you are late in paying your rent, you have to pay the fine. You are late in paying your internet, you have to pay the fine. But then why are you not agree to pay the fine to the government? Why they are not going to remove you from your house?
me
They are not
correct.
going to,
We have one in our side.
Let
they
me
are not
correct.
taking any legal action, so you are not going to pay the fine.
It's not about the rent. It's about the it's about the government. We are not satisfied with the government.
what
That's
you
why
are
we
making the
don't want to
government
work.
very lenient.
That's why we don't want to work.
Go vote.
And it's the question is not particular the fines. Like
Yeah, you
I
just
say,
told.
Miss Sabana says you have plenty of times in a day to vote. But there is a time like between 9 to 5. And between 9 to 5, if I am in hospital, in front of me there are so many patient is going to be died. How can I go outside and vote? Put the
You
vote.
are in the hospital.
No. There are so many. Look, there are bank employees, hospital patient, hospital doctors.
Okay.
There are so even the army, everything.
You made this
Yeah.
point clear. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to,
Why?
They are voting on me.
Why?
Okay.
We are ready to pay $200 outside for the fun, but we are not ready for $20.
Okay. Just to re-summarize your point, there's already a precedent. When we are late paying our bills, we get a fee in other contexts. Did you all want to address that point at all?
We are
I mean,
against
just
that
tend to
too.
agree. I saw you not your but yeah. Yeah. In other contexts, when you're late for you're paying your bills, or in another context, then you have to pay a fee. Why not for the government, etc.? And I think his point was to say we're dissatisfied with what the government's providing. You know,
Yeah,
it's different, right?
because
et cetera.
government fulfill all the promises during the speech.
Fair enough.
Like and they are not.
Yeah, you made that point, brother. I'm let them weigh in.
Yeah.
You don't want to say anything about that necessarily?
Uncle, हमें बस करके
Yeah.
बोली।
It's okay.
Every person has a budget, and you need to know what are your debts. So if you already know,
No. Look, it's not about the debts. Everybody is in millionaire in United States, but the thing is, they fulfill all the promises. Like give the promise to the citizens of United States, like we recover all the healthcare, education, but they are not. And we give them 5 years. And they are not. Then after 5 years, why should I vote and pay the fines?
But
$20.
can I tell you, if you are not agreeing to cooperate with the government, how the government will agree to cooperate with
No,
you?
look, listen.
yes, you have the power.
Nicely articulated.
So
Yes.
only only, okay.
Or they giving us, they pay my bill.
Okay.
Now all of
If,
us,
1 minute.
All right.
1 minute. If,
Does anybody else have anything else to
no,
say?
no. Listen. No, Miss Sarika.
All right,
Miss Sarika, please. Look, if Mr. Jeremy it's not going to the vote. So who decide is a good citizen or bad citizen? Who decide?
Yeah.
Who decide?
Only God can
Who are you? Who decide those people is
That's
good
why
and
we
those
have to
people
go and
is
vote.
bad?
That's right.
Just fulfill your promises, then we give you 20, not 20, we give you 100.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's why we have to vote, so we don't select a wrong
But-
person.
But
And the results are more clear.
I hear you. I think you made your point. That's fine.
yeah, no, we are not agree.
Don't
We
worry
are
about it,
not
brother.
agree
That's
to
okay.
pay $20.
I'm going to move on to a new topic now. Okay. All right. A new topic. Thank you. Yeah, I get someone in this group feels very passionate about. I can't put my finger on it. It's Rohan, I think, right? Yeah. Another question, either for this side or that side, or a observation or comment, etc. Thank you for that thoughtful comment. Yes, Mr. Alejandro, sir.
Do you think that if you fine for make people vote, would change the elections?
Yes.
the result of
Absolutely.
elections?
Okay.
There are a lot of evidence. Countries as Australia, they need to pay a fine $20, and they increase the voting rates 80%.
Yes.
So people know that if you you need to pay, you go vote. So you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the
But it's like
Australia.
Okay. I'm not gonna finish. I'll let you speak. Okay. Is that you want to finish your idea, right?
That's it.
Don't forget your turn is
So your point is to say there's already a precedent. Other countries have done it and it's worked. Okay. Cool.
It's working.
Real quick. Go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Say what you want to say, brother. That's fine.
Okay, thank you for
She finished.
listening us. On behalf of Mr. Michael, Rohan and Miss Kim, thank you guys. Okay? Yeah, finish to sum it up. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Have
Because
a seat.
we have
We have time. I'm gonna take one more question. It's okay. It's
okay, one more question.
Sorry,
That's
brother.
fine.
Mr. Jeremy,
Talk to me. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you are not going to the vote,
Yes.
it would be happen like a bad candidate will be selected in election, which is good.
But who decide is a bad candidate? Who decide?
You decided.
What can I? No. Look, there are all the candidates.
All right.
Some people think all candidates are bad.
Hold on. I think I could just. I'm gonna pass on that question. I'm gonna pass on that question. Have a seat.
Good for the
Okay.
platform, not good for everyone.
So, Sarah, just to let you, I think both sides agree that voting is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So they're arguing that the fine is not a fair part of it. Okay. So I'm gonna move on to Ms.
Yeah.
Deborah back there. You had a question. Go
If you
ahead.
get a ticket on the traffic,
Are you directing it to them or them?
Build the traffic.
You want a question? Just to
No,
comment to
just
everybody. I'm
saying.
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a ticket, you can appeal. If you are right or don't, you can go to the court and say about that, you know.
You can
but
contest.
like this group said, if you were traveling, if you are in the hospital, how can you appeal about I couldn't vote? Because
same.
I'm here in America,
Okay.
and I could not vote in my country. And if I have to vote again, I have to pay $20. And I agree with my President Kim. Like she said, if I pay $20, where this money is going? Because
Okay.
nobody knows this. If I get tickets and I pay for that, I know I'm wrong, and I have to pay. But if I'm not wrong, I can appeal. But we cannot appeal for that.
Cool. Another word for that. You can contest and disagree,
Yeah,
right?
contest.
It sounds like you're disagreeing with this team, so I'm gonna let them speak first. I'm gonna let them speak, and I'll let you have a point. Okay.
Even if you are here, you can go to the consulate and go and vote.
Yeah.
You have plenty of options to vote.
But I cannot appeal. Like if I'm telling them I'm here, I'm American, I couldn't vote because I didn't transfer my documents for here. So I have just to pay. Right? What? This doesn't matter.
No.
You know, Americans they don't have to pay because they don't vote, and they have been a good president. No Trump. A good president and other times.
With the other times, I hear you saying.
But they didn't vote, you know, and they are more patriots
Patriotic.
Patriotic.
There you go, patriotic. Right. Okay. Does anybody in this team want to comment on anybody? No. Anybody? Anybody?
I am the leader of my group, so I am going to perform. Look, if something happen in my family, like some, listen, if something happen in my family, somebody died, so it's my opportunity to attend the funeral, or it's my opportunity to go what? I already lost my family member, and I'm going to pay $20. That's not right.
Why?
That's not right. She said there is plenty of time, so I'm going to vote next year. That's fine.
The problem of hospitalization.
No.
1 year there is a problem.
Look, I have every answer.
So
if somebody give me my answer, then that's fine.
So, Patel,
if in your family is somebody going,
yeah. I'll tell you what, brother. The point is, I'll let you. The question though, the point was that there's an opportunity to contest a fine if you do get a fine. But her point, I think, was to say that it wouldn't be likely that if you get a fine for voting in your country, there's no way for you to pay for it necessarily. But you say you can go to the consulate. That there's options to be made to contest a fine if you got one.
Higher salary. Why not pay $20?
Yeah.
$20.
Also,
we are not against the $20.
So, honestly,
We spend more than $1,000 for outdoor facility for fun.
Why?
But we are.
There are a lot of people go to drink outside. They spend more than $20. What is $20 for you?
Okay. To be honest, that the whole issue of $20 doesn't seem like very much. For some people, for many citizens, it is a deal breaker. I mean, it's a lot of money. Okay. I don't think that should be addressed anymore. Yeah.
You are the only one doctor in
Okay.
America. But you are the only one doctor in America.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Y'all done too? Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Wait. You want to say something? Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, Nasser. Yeah.
We can vote by online, so every problem will solve.
That opens another can of worms. Like a lot of fraud could happen. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, well, something similar to that was what they call absentee voting. You know, if you can't vote on election day, you can vote ahead of time. So that's another option that could avoid the fine, that sort of thing. So
it will save time, money, and everything.
Yeah.
So we can vote at any time on that day.
Sure, fair enough. Okay. Y'all get those surveys. Please fill them out. You don't have to put your name on it. What I'm going to eventually do is I'll take them. I'll scan them in. Everybody's going to see the comments. Okay. They won't know who you are, but I'll make a PDF and email it to everybody about your. If you don't want your comments to be seen by everybody, don't give them to me. Okay. But of course, I'm going to take up those little surveys. But we're done. Okay. Yeah. Give them a hand.